2022, Reed Hastings, the CEO of Netflix at the time, painted a very dark picture of the future of linear TV by predicting its death within 5 to 10 years. The ballpark there, right? Now, at the time, our industry reacted very differently. You had folks saying that TV was still very much relevant. Others were already saying that social media was killing TV, or that YouTube was the new TV and was about to eat the world. Now, as often, the truth sits in the middle. Yes, linear TV faces a structural decline in both reach, weekly viewership, and also its viewing audiences is actually getting older. There's no doubt about that. The model, as we know it, is running out of steam, yes. But death isn't necessarily around the corner. It simply calls for a massive transformation of broadcasting businesses. Now, in that respect, I have to say, I think there's a before and after the pandemic. During COVID, media businesses enjoyed incredible growth. According to Nielsen, in 2020, they enjoyed a 60% growth of global media consumption. Some businesses may have thought that this would stay forever, that we would still consume content the way we did during the pandemic. Guess what? We didn't. After COVID, a correction took place. We went back to running our healthier 24-hour-a-day life, where we split our time with work, sleep, social activities, sports, and watching media content. It brought a sense of urgency to everyone. For streamers, it meant the end of subscriber growth at all costs. They shifted their focus towards profitability and engagement. For broadcasters, it meant it was no longer enough to actually build a replica or just an extension of their linear businesses. It was time to bring a full-fledged entertainment hub. Because in front of you, you have Netflix, which has over 18K titles. They actually generate 99% of the engagement on the platform globally. On the other side, you have YouTube, everything is free, and you have 14 billion hours of video content that you can consume. We've entered the streaming era of broadcasters in Europe and beyond. I'm going to talk about the 5 trends which I believe will fuel the transformation of those European broadcasting businesses in 2024 and beyond. So what are the trends that matter? Number 1, local champions. For years, European audiences relied on their broadcasters to bring them the best of local and global. Broadcasters secured output exclusive deals where they brought US TV shows and movies to their local audiences, and on top of that, they brought local content that they either licensed or produced. There was a time where, for US companies, for example, it was all about making local deals and having those local players building you up locally. Now, if you fast forward to the launch of Netflix and then the subsequent launch of US streamers within the region, we actually moved into the direct-to-consumer era. One where you no longer want to rely on someone else to bid you up locally, you actually launch and have a direct relationship with your consumers. For broadcasters, it meant that they had to rethink their value proposition because in a way, local audiences didn't need them to watch the latest Game of Thrones or Grey's Anatomy. So what they did is they actually embraced their status of local champions who know what is culturally relevant. A great example of this is actually the latest announcement by ProSiebenSat.1, which is the German commercial broadcaster in 2023, where they said that they would no longer do output deals with US studios, but rather have a cherry-picking approach. The money set aside from those deals would then be invested in producing local content. The second trend is platform excellence. Bringing locally relevant content is step 1. That's great. But what matters a lot now is how and where you make that content available, especially at a time where there's so much competition going on. So broadcasters initially had digital destination, streaming destination, but these were an extension or a replica in the digital world of their TV business. They were not destination in their own rights. And it has changed. Over the last few years, we've seen launches from C1+, M6+, ITVX, RTL+, Join, you name it. So the platforms now are actually built to cater to all the different business models, whether you're talking live, AVOD, SVOD, but they're also here to cater to the way you want to experience your content. Are you keen to watch live content, live feed at a certain time every day, or are you keen to watch on demand at a time of your choosing. Everything is now possible within those new entertainment hubs. Podcasters must continue to actually match and even surpass the platform excellence from global players like Netflix, Disney, or YouTube. So I would say that one edge that they have is that understanding of the local tastes, and it's a great way to be innovative. A few months ago, when TF1 Plus launched, they actually launched very innovative features. We're going to talk about Top Chrono and Synchro Plus. By the way, if you are a streaming video service looking to expand in Europe, I can help you understand the region, design the right strategy, and have the perfect deals in place with partners. Click the link below to book time together so we can discuss. Now, back to the video. Synchro. This feature launched by TF1 Plus is actually trying to answer a crucial challenge that we all have, every night, but even more so if there's, many family members having to decide what to watch tonight. So essentially what they're doing is that they're putting together all the different profiles, the text, and with an algorithm, they're making a suggestion of something that can fit the entire family. You should try it. Now, the other feature that I thought was super interesting was Top Chrono. Essentially, it's your way of getting a summary of a specific duration of your choice, 5, 10, 15 minutes, that caters to the time that you have today. There's so much choice. All of those features, I think, are extremely powerful in fixing this paradox of choice that we face every day. The third trend, enhanced viewing experience. You're seeing Netflix trying to do live broadcasting. Podcasters know live like the back of their hand, and I think they have an edge in the sense that what they can do is innovate and go one step further, bring interactivity, the one that we often see on social media, but that we crave for when it's on the big screen. It's about live game statistics, quizzes, watch parties, content commerce, you name it. The fourth trend, super aggregation. We want simplicity as viewers, as consumers. Who's going to bring that to us? The competition is fierce, from big tech companies like Amazon and Google, Apple, to the Netflix, the Disneys of the world. I think broadcasters have a major shot at this, but it needs to be done right. A lot of those businesses are actually multifaceted, so they should tap into all of those assets and skills that they have in-house to offer content beyond video. For a company like RTL, for example, it's part of the Bertelsmann Group, so it's a publishing empire. What they've done with RTL Plus is that they've actually brought on top of video content from their publishing businesses, and so that's magazines, audiobooks. They've also done partnership with third-party companies like Deezer to bring music. Why is that interesting? Because you don't need to start everything from scratch. There is no time. Fifth trend, advertising. Broadcasters are heavyweights when it comes to advertising. In 2023, according to Dataxis, they generated close to 25 billion euros of advertising revenues. Aside for Amazon, who actually managed to generate instant revenues in 2024 with its launch of Prime Video with ads, most of the streamers are still building the capabilities. Look at Netflix and Disney, not sharing a lot of information or not very solid information about how healthy or not their advertising business is actually. So it's an edge for broadcasters, there's no question about that. The question now is that they should not sit on it for too long because US companies, are really good at catching up. How can these guys keep their edge, their ability to work together? It's their biggest opportunity, but it's their biggest challenge. In that respect, I think the UK is far ahead of us. The latest launch of Freely, which is an initiative by the 4 broadcasters in the UK, BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, that is bringing under one roof, called Freely, this app that is going to be available across the widest number of devices in the UK. I think it's a great example of how collaboration is needed to be able to adapt and transform your businesses. Now, if you look at the French market, we've had a few tryouts with Salto, which was an SVOD offer between France Télévisions, the public broadcaster, TF1 and M6, the commercial ones. But the service actually closed, and what happened after that? M6 launched M6 Plus, TF1 launched TF1 Plus. So everyone went back to doing their own things. I think long term, this is not sustainable. Working alone to compete with big tech and companies who have deep pockets seems untenable long term. One must turn competitors into partners. In the next video, I'm going to show you 5 actionable steps to expand to Europe with fans. So if you want to do things right, watch the next video.